Well, hey there, Jeff from Fledermaus, or whoever else might be watching this. Making this video is kind of give a brief rundown of what I'm about to send over. I broke my phone camera, so I didn't make videos on any of these. But I got it fixed now. That was an all ordeal. So we'll just start where we start. So these ones right here, I don't know what to call them. So what we've got here is, yeah, steel pins, but these are 10 millimeter long, 3 millimeter pins. You see the top and bottom. It's not going to focus. Those are little spreaders that I put on my, did on my CNC. These particular ones have 27 pins. Let me show you one of the spreaders. So the spreaders are top and bottom. Come on. Ooh. There we go. So 27 pins, real loose. They're not tied in here at all. This is a polycarbonate body with a cavity in it. It is epoxied to the base. And I've just got a little lid that, again, I CNC'd out of like some tinted acrylic I had and just super glued it in there. The polycarbonate is super strong, so I don't think there'll be any issues with it shattering or breaking. So here's one of the lids. Just got a little lip on it, slides into the pipe, yada, yada, yada. These ones right here have exactly 11 less pins. So these pins are actually, I believe, 20 mil long. So 27 minus 11, what is that? No. Oh, whatever. 16, there we go. There's the number I'm looking for. So these have 16 pins in them. Same deal, spreaders top and bottom, polycarbonate tube, no big deal. And these ones right here, same central idea, but these have 3 really big rods and 3 small rods, and oh, it's not going to focus. Oh, wait. You can kind of see what that says. You'll see what these are from here in a second. But that's what we got here. Kind of just curious, what it'll do. I think these would be good in any like soft target. Just kind of see if they spread, actually, if they'll, enough to break the polycarbonate. But yeah, that's those ones. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of them. So fair amount of those. And give me a sec and I will set up the next set. All right, just get more vicious as we go here. So these ones I'm calling the Rupta Madre. You can figure out what it means, but first part rupt for rupture. So what these are is what is this, 12L14 steel. Started off as like a 1-inch round bar. Machined it down, put a nice hole in the center. I'll show you kind of what the inside of this looks like. So the hole goes down about 5 mil from the bottom. And it's got an M14 threaded plug on the top, and then the inside's just filled with whatever you want to throw in there. Got this relief cut into it right here. Hopefully this is where it decides it's going to, compress, expand, explode, whatever it's going to do. The plugs that I bought with it came with these copper O-rings that I just kind of threw on there and also machined them down to fit. So pretty cool little guys. So for these first 5 right here, they're filled with, my choice. The things I wanted to fill it with. The only thing I didn't fill them with that I wanted to do was either kerosene or diesel, but I ain't got a fuel tank, and I've got no reason to have any of that fuel around, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to go buy a tank just to use a couple, milliliters of the fuel. So for this one right here, it's probably not going to read any of this. There we go. So this one right here, filled with liquid latex. You may be thinking, what in the hell does he have liquid latex for? Well, I use it as a paint mask for, doing intricate things. It kind of works like just a liquid paint mask. So that one's full. All the ones that I did are sealed up with thread lock. What is it? 545 thread sealant. Plus I got them, torqued down to clamp on the copper O-ring. So this one, has steel blackening solution in it. So like the inside of this thing is all black now that I've put it in there, but hopefully you shoot it against a mild steel target and it'll black it up. And obviously all these I think are going to be best with hard targets, because obviously it is, they're heavy boys and they need to do something useful. They need to hit something hard. So this one right here is titanium and 304 powder. So I have granulated titanium and I actually have 304 powdered. So I basically just put a bunch of titanium granules in here and then put the 304 powder on top of it and just kind of shook it, bounced it in to kind of get it all just mixed up in there. If this one ruptures, it should at least make a spark show. Let's see, these last two. All right, so this one, might actually be able to read this one. So I rebuilt my mill. This is the old oil from it. Hopefully, maybe it'll combust. A lot of oils will combust under pressure. So maybe not. And the last one. This one is a little special. We're just going to call this one, Special Taco Bell. I chose Taco Bell for two reasons. Either it's going to be completely awesome or it's going to be shit. I'm kind of leaning this one's actually going to end up being more on the shit side of things. But if not, it'll be awesome. So that's it for those. And then I've got basically three. These, I know you're not going to be able to read it because the phone's not going to focus on it, but choose your own adventure. Basically, Jeff, if you just want to ask people what they want to see in these. Yeah, sent you three of those. They all should close up real nice. And powder, liquids, whatever you want to throw in there. So that is the Rupta Madre. And like I said, they're, next ones will be a little more than this. All right. And the last ones that matter are these bad boys. I'm calling these ones the Screaming Burrito. If you can't tell yet, might be pretty obvious. So we got here, 12L14 body that's been drilled out. Basically, you can see it's super thin in there. That goes down to about here, and then another, 5 or 6, 7 millimeter. I drilled down 1/4 inch, and I have a burr in there. And wish my dogs would shut up. Shut up! But got a burr in there, carbide burr. Looks something, kind of came from this pack right here. Well, I don't want to say this pack, but I got a couple of these DeWalt carbide burrs. So I just cut the shafts off, and that's what you saw in the first ones, those longer shafts that were from the burrs. And I also, the reason it's got its name, obviously, burr, burrito, it's, the burr's wrapped in the middle, so kind of like a burrito, but Screaming, there's these little angled holes that I drilled in the case. I'm hoping these things screech. They probably won't, but we've got basically two varieties of holes. Those were the bigger ones. These are going to be the smaller holes. And there's 4, kind of equal-ish. And then these are the flat top burrs, and these are the more pointed burrs. Same deal. You got big holes, and we've got the little small holes, and they're drilled at about, I don't know, well, probably about that kind of an angle in. So we'll see how those guys go. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to shoot those at. By all means, Jeff, choose your best weapon there. I think, mustard or a can of beans or, a can of Grey Poupon could be cool, but your choice on that one. And then I just got one more set of slugs that I'm just going to send. You can do with them what you want. They're not doing me any good. All right, so now we've got these ones. These are kind of my first trial run of like the, polycarbonate tubing and what works and what didn't. So kind of a wide variety here. We'll start with, these guys right here. Yeah, so these were actually supposed to be hollow, but it didn't work out. They started leaking, so I just ended up, pouring them solid. These are, if you can't see, a bunch of resin encapsulated like watch parts. So 2 of those. So what we have here is basically, I don't know what I'd even call this. This is basically the steel that my Brobo cold saw, leaves as the chunks when I'm cutting metal. So this is all metal. These are all chunks of just mild steel that, you know, I made my whole bench setup with. This is the same thing, but again, I had leakage, so I just solid filled it. Same dealio, but this one's got just carbide inserts in it. And again, leakage, poured it solid. And we got these ones. These ones are actually matching. They didn't leak, so neodymium magnets. I know they like to make cool sparks. And the last two ones that actually didn't have set up out there, these ones are I'm kind of intrigued with. JB Weld. So these are a pair of solid JB Weld projectiles. They do have aluminum base on them so they don't explode immediately when they get shot. But they're, yeah, they look kind of cool. And then lastly, I got a bag of these already, you know, to size with tops that I'm going to send your way. Basically, again, you can put whatever you want in these. You know, maybe ask the viewers what they want to see in these. 6 of them are clear, and then the other 4, they've kind of, again, this was some of these were my learning phase, so we've got like a crack there. So I don't know how to put anything too heavy in this one, but it's still super strong. But the ones that are actually clear, they should be pretty strong, support anything you put in. And then we got some lids in there. You know, just fill them up, super glue the lids on, stuff like that. Yeah, that's that for that. I got other random crap that I'm probably not going to send, like some, you know, lithium batteries with resin around them and stuff like that. I think that's been done before. But I know, I mean, yeah, this may look fancy, but I'm no machinist. No machinist at all. Let me give you a grand tour of, you know, my machinist factory here. Oh. You know, this is the mill I rebuilt that I pulled the oil out of the head from. No big deal. Old school China CNC machine. Now I put a bigger spindle on, changed the bed, and a few small things. You know, again, China lathe, nothing special. I've rebuilt this a few times to try to get it better. Anytime I rebuild them, I put Japanese bearings and everything, except for the mill. I think there's 2 Italian bearings in there because I couldn't find Japanese equivalents. Air compressor I rebuilt. It's an old dental air compressor, so it's actually super quiet. Moves a lot of air, but there was like no information online about it when I bought it, so I just, you know, hooked it up, figured out what things were, and fixed the problems that I found, and it actually worked really good. Got my 1000-watt laser, and then the garage shelves that I built with the toolbox, or the bench. So that's my shop area. I'm by far, not a master machinist. My first tool that I rebuilt, just a small Delta drill press. Not a master machinist, just a dumbass with a garage and some toys. So yeah, hopefully you guys will see some of these shoot, and we'll see what they do. Thanks.